Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here, and this is our next Emotional English podcast episode where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. So today, I have another great podcast for you guys. We're going to talk about 8 genius tips for waking up early. It's a very big, important topic for our lifetime, right? So we need to wake up early for different purposes. First of all, it's a purpose of productivity. If you want to be more productive in your life, if you want to be productive with your business, if you want to be productive with your English, we need to wake up early. We need to do a little bit more work with our time management, right? So, and there are some tips which I found on the website herzing.edu education, right? Herzing.edu. This is the Herzing University website, and they offer us the girl. Her name is Sofia Sikorski. She's offering 8 genius tips for waking up early, and she's saying that waking up early boasts positive health benefits, including better concentration, long-lasting energy, and much more. And she's ready to share with us these beautiful tips. And you know what? There is a beautiful word here, boast, right? What does it mean, boast? It's kind of sharing, right? Or when you're boasting, you mean something, right? It's like bragging, but in this context, it's more about meaning, right? Waking up early means a lot of positive health benefits, right? It shares or it has a lot of great pluses or positives, right? And these positives are better concentration, a lot of energy, long-lasting energy. It's not like a coffee. Long-lasting energy, it's like you're not drinking coffee. You're just have the energy from the beginning of the day until the end of the day, and much more. So that's the topic for today. This is more like a real English topic, right? So when we discuss something realistic, something which we can use right away, something practical English story. And we have 8 tips, and let's see what this girl is sharing to us. I've never read this topic before from her, but I really want to say a couple things about this topic because I love to wake up early because it really boosts my energy. It really makes me more productive. And I'm trying to follow this route. And if you remember about our micromanagement, about our micro steps which we do for improving our life. So this is one of them. You can use some micro habiting and improve your life drastically. I mean, a lot. You can improve your life a lot by micro steps, micro habiting. So let's start from the first tip. And the first tip is pretty simple. We need to set an earlier bedtime. When you setting something, you installing it as a rule, right? For example, you can set your alarm clock. You can set a goal. You can set something what is very important for you, right? So when you set an earlier bedtime, you're establishing the new time when you go to bed. For example, there are some situations in my life when I had been playing Minecraft for a while. I've been playing Minecraft, and then I realizing that, oh my God, it's already 12 a.m. I should have gone to bed much more earlier, but I haven't done it. And I hadn't done it. And that was a big trouble, right? This realization that you had spent that much time in the place when you shouldn't have to, right? And that was a very big step for me to set an earlier bedtime because before 10 p.m., I should had been in the bed. That's a new good rule for you guys. You just should have established something important, you should have established something very important, like a rule or step when you go to bed earlier, okay? So that's the recommendation. We should establish the better timing and set an earlier bedtime. So what she's saying, what she means by that, training your body to fall asleep earlier may help you rise earlier each morning. Most adults should aim to get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep each night. Anything less than that can cause you to struggle with waking up early. Here you go. So she's saying that it's very important, it's essential, it's very important, it's drastically important to wake up. To aim, right? We should aim, we should program, we should set at least 7-9 hours of sleep each night. We're all different, right? But 7 hours is very essential. Some people need more, like 8 hours or 9 hours. I love 8 hours. I think 8 hours is enough for me. Sometimes I need a little bit more when I'm sick, like today. Anyway, it's a very good thing to set an earlier bedtime for yourself. And it's better for you because you can easily wake up next day when you sleep enough. When you don't sleep enough, you always have this feeling, oh my God, I don't want to wake up. I want to hug my pillow longer and I want to stay in the bed for longer time periods, right? Of course, it is working well when you're not having the burnouts, right? It's a completely different topic and different story. So that's why we're not touching it today. But the idea is we need to set an earlier bedtime. It's the tip number 1. So the second tip from our girl, and her name is Sophia probably. And she recommends us to unplug before bed. What does it mean, unplug? It means no technology use, all right? So we're not using our gadgets. We're not using our computers before bed. It means we're unplugging. We're removing technology from our life. You can switch off your router. You can switch off your Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi is not very good for our body. These different, influences of these networks and whatever wireless things. These are waves which impact our life a lot. And we can switch off these gadgets. We can switch off all the devices in our house or home. And this makes sense. Okay, so to unplug before bed, she means unplugging from smartphones and laptops about 30 minutes before bed can contribute to a better night of sleep. According to the Sleep Judge, it's like a resource, the blue light emitted from screens can alter your body natural melatonin levels, making it more difficult to fall asleep. An earlier bedtime with zero interference from tech can leave you feeling happier and more energized the next day. What a beautiful recommendation. Yes, she's saying that we should switch off, unplug all our devices 30 minutes before bedtime. So 30 minutes before, I just switch off my computer, I switch off my smartphone, laptop, whatever I have, whatever I use. It can contribute. That's a very beautiful word. You can use this word to say when something produces some positives or gives you some benefits, it's literally giving you something. It's contributing. So this ritual of 30 minutes before bed, removing and unplugging all your devices contributes to a better night of sleep. So it contributes better time, better sleeping, sleeping experience, right? So you have a better sleeping experience, easier to fall asleep, easier to get your night sleep, all right? According to this resource, the Sleep Judge, she's saying that the blue light emitted from screens can alter your body neutral melatonin levels. So in this case, alter, it means change of production, right? Change, altering. So when your screen's emitting some blue lights, it's really bad for our body because it's changing our body's natural melatonin levels. So we have less melatonin production, and this hormone is really important for us. This hormone secreted in our glands, right? And it's impact our sleep levels and other things, right? It's our recovery hormone probably. So we need melatonin. And if we still using screens before bed, so we have less melatonin. And this is not very good for us because it can make more difficult to fall asleep. All right. And an earlier bedtime with zero interference from tech. Interference is like this big influence, or it's the process of interfering, right? It's just when something makes your life harder. It's an interference, right? For example, the weather has a big interference when you're doing sport outside, right? If it's freezing and if it's very cold outside, you're not ready for running because the interference of the weather is very, very high. You don't like this. You don't want to see this interference because this interference makes your sport activity useless, right? Because it's dangerous to run when it's icy on the road, right? And you can fall very, very easily. This is not good. This is not healthy. So it's a big interference of our weather. Another how you can use the word interference is this signals, right? When you have different radio signals, sometimes these radio signals doesn't work. Why? Because there are some interference happening, right? Some gadgets, they can block the signals, right? And this is the interference. Radio interference, it's like these special machines or gadgets which Army uses to block the signal of different drone signals, right? They create the interference and these drones doesn't work properly, okay? I hope you got this idea of this word. When something interfere into your local area or whatever, it makes your life harder, all right? With an interference of something, something goes wrong. You need to understand that. It's like a new, how can I describe it to you in a cool way? All right, it's like different, how you call them? Like different gaps and, like muddy road, and you have different, there is a word about this. Come on. It's like, 1 second. I just need to find this one. I want to be more, more clear, right? Yeah. So obstacles, of course. It's like an obstacle for you, right? This interference is like an obstacle. It creates obstacles for you, all right? That's the main idea. Okay, that was the section number 2. We discussed the interference. And next is avoid late night snacking. Late night snacking. Snacking, it's food. It's actually eating. When we're eating during the night, it's play a big role. It plays a big role in our life, right? So you can lose your sleep because of that. Okay, so we should avoid. It means ignore and trying not to do something, right? When you're avoiding something, you're trying not to do something, right? Avoiding the confrontation, avoiding the discussion, avoiding doing something stupid, right? Sometimes it's very good to avoid something. So avoiding playing computer games, it saves a lot of time, right? So avoid late night snacking helps you to be more healthy with your sleep, right? So your sleep getting much more healthier. So avoid late night snacking. What Sophia is saying, she's saying, while some studies have shown that snacking close to bedtime can help dull any hunger pains that may appear overnight, others have shown that it can cause less enjoyable symptoms such as acid reflux. It's easy to confuse hunger with tiredness. So instead, ditch the snacks and save your appetite for breakfast. Okay. There are 2 points of view here, she's saying. The first point of view that it's vitally important to eat something before you go to bed because you have these hunger pains, and these hunger pains really influence your sleep because you cannot sleep, you want to eat, and that's why you're awakening, right? You're awakening in the reason of this hunger pain. But another point of view here have shown that it can cause less enjoyable symptoms such as acid reflux. All right. This is not very good. It's easy to confuse hunger with tiredness. Some people, when they're tired, they can feel hunger. And that's a pretty good proof. There are some proofs about that. It's better to drink some water before you go to bed or drink some tea because it's not using your digesting system that much. So you can do it without any problem. Yeah. So this is the recommendation. So avoid snacking. Even, okay. And of course, when you're just eating, meat and something heavy for your digesting system, it's even worse. You have very bad dreams after all. So when you eat something bad during the night, it makes problems. So don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Number 4 is avoid sugary energy drinks and coffee. Obviously, during the night, it's very important to not follow sugary energy drinks and coffee. Because coffee and energy drinks contains a lot of caffeine, and caffeine blocks your sleeping procedures, right? So you don't want to block your sleep. You want to keep it with you. So energy drinks and coffee may give you the extra boost. You need to study or do something else. But ingesting, it means consuming and having large amount of sugar or caffeine before bed can make it more challenging to fall asleep. Challenging, it means very, very hard. When something is challenging, it means it's not simple. So what makes more challenging for us, it's more challenging to fall asleep and stay asleep. It's the same as stay asleep. It means it's the same as sleeping. When you're sleeping, you stay asleep. When you're not sleeping, you are awake. So when you use this before the word and it's connected with the word, it means that you have a specific feelings. For example, when you stay asleep, you are sleeping. When you stay awake, you are awakening. Okay? Or awaken. So the next one is important part. It's better to avoid caffeine, right? Because it blocks our sleep and it's not what we need. Sugars, the same thing. It's very addictive and it makes your blood going pretty fast. And when the sugar goes to your blood, it's not very good. So the next part, limiting consumption of sugary sodas, energy drinks, and coffee has been proven to produce healthier sleeping habits. Try switching to water or tea before bed to keep yourself hydrated. I disagree with the tea statement because it's better to use a specific type of tea, like herbal tea or green tea, probably the best solution in this case. But avoid black tea because sometimes it contains even more caffeine and it plays the same role. So do not use a lot of black tea before bed because you want to keep yourself hydrated and you don't want to run to your bathroom every single time after your drink, right? So, and I hate this when you really want to wake up and you need to go to the bathroom just to pee and, remove all the water you got inside of your bladder. Bladder, it's like a place where your organs contains and, keep all this water before it goes out through peeing process. Hope I described it correctly and nicely and understandably. So let's go deeper. Recommendation number 5 is to silence your phone. Okay, that's pretty simple. I think we don't need to concentrate on it too much. Of course, we need to remove all the voices, all the sounds, right? We need to put our phone into the special mode. It's called DND mode, do not disturb mode. I use it pretty often. And I like how this system of Apple, they have this special mode when you just sleep. So while you're sleeping, nobody can call you, nobody can send you and disturb you somehow. So this is the best solution. Just silence your phone and put it somewhere very, very far from you, because you can be disturbed just to check something or order something or watch something. Do not do this. So just try to avoid and silence your phone. That's good. What this girl is saying, turn off your phone's ringer or activate do not disturb. Oh, like I said, cool. Do not disturb mode before bed. Notifications can wake you in the middle of the night and tempt you to check your phone. Tempt, it's like stimulates you, right? Yeah. You want to check your phone right away. It's tempting. Very tempting to check. So which will disturb your sleep cycle, right? When, this in the middle of the night, the phone tempt you to check itself, which will disrupting, it means disturbing your sleep cycle and makes it useless, okay? That text message or funny meme will still be there in the morning. Yeah, we should remember that. So do yourself a favor and completely disconnect before bed. This thing is not very usable for me because I like to use my phone before to bed. I love to listen to different meditations, guided meditations, or it's called sleeping meditations while you're just listening, and then it's just switching off and you continuing your sleep. It works like a story, like a little fairy tale. Many kids, they love to listen different fairy tales before they go to sleep, before they fall asleep. And I am that kid. So I love to listen to something useful, something which makes my life better, and something beautiful, just makes me happy, and I fall asleep much more faster. 6, recommendation number 6, avoid all nighters. Avoid all-nighters. I have no idea what this nighter is. All-nighters, right? Let's see what it means because I have no idea. So avoid all-nighters. Skipping a night's sleep to finish an assignment is not a wise choice. Not only can it lead to exhaustion the next morning, lack of sleep can also inhibit your body's ability to function properly. According to Vice, it's like a resource, a recent study reported that someone who goes a night without sleep will often end up with a cognitive impairment of an individual who drank to the legal limit. This proves just how important sleep is to our bodies. If you have a big deadline approaching, avoid procrastinating so you won't have to pull an all-nighter to finish your work. Now it makes sense. All-nighter, it means the night before go to bed. You will quickly realize the lack of sleep is not worth it. Yeah, the lack of sleep is not worth it. You can realize that very quickly. True. And you see, there is a research by according to Vice, right? That study reported that somebody who goes a night without a sleep will often end up with the cognitive impairment. So this is a big problem, right? So this, you really don't want that, right? So the importance of sleep is vital, is very important. So that's why just go to bed and do not procrastinate, because we have these all-nighters in the reason of our procrastination. We just, postpone moving things to the next day. And then we have to finish this, right? We have to finish these projects before we go to bed or before our important date. So this procrastination creates these all-nighters, and we don't want that. Here you go. All-nighters, it's the nights without sleep. We don't need this. When you work all night, okay? Other words. Two more recommendations for you guys and you're free to go. So the recommendation number 7 is sleep with your curtains open. Okay, so this is not my one. I completely avoid this because I like to keep this darkness inside of my room. And I think this is pretty arguable because I can argue about this. When you have some lights in your room, it's harder to fall asleep. Okay, let's see what this girl is saying here. Sleep with your curtains open. Leave your blinds. It's like shades or blinds or curtains slightly open before going to bed. Okay, this way sunlight can stream through and help you wake up more naturally. On sunny days, this can be an effective strategy. Okay, it doesn't work in Russia during the winter time for sure, because we have a pretty long nights, right? And this makes our life different during the night. So that's why it doesn't work during the winter. Yeah, it works during the summer. And again, I like to have closed curtains because it makes my sleep better. And if I need to wake up earlier, okay, alarm clock does work well. Okay, so the final the final recommendation is place your alarm clock across the room. Here you go. Yeah, not close to you, not very close to you, right? Across the room. This is the important part. Place your alarm clock, locate your alarm clock across the room, not very close to you, okay? So Sophia is saying to avoid snoozing your alarm, there's a function in your alarm clock to snooze, right? It means to postpone your alarm clock for 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes or 12 more minutes, whatever. And you're snoozing your alarm, and we need to avoid that. To avoid snoozing your alarm, place your phone or alarm clock across the room from where your bed is. This way, when your alarm goes off, you will be forced to get out of bed to silence it. Very smart move. Just put it on the table somewhere, and you just have to. You'll be forced to get out of your bed to silence it without the temptation of snoozing your alarm. Yeah. Temptation, it's like this big desire, right? Desire to do something. And we do have this temptation of snoozing our alarm every single time because we want to hug our pillow for a little bit longer. We want to be in the bed for a little bit longer time, right? And you'll be up at right on time, right? Yeah, you'll be up and at them right on time. So we need to wake up earlier. We should do that, and it's vital. So the final paragraph, she's like concluding the statement. Let's see what Sophia is saying in the end. Training your body to wake up early will take time. So don't expect to be able to wake up at 5 a.m. every day just yet. Try to implementing small changes. Remember, like I said to you guys about these micro habits, right? This is the implementation of small changes, step-by-step process, right? So try to implementing small changes into your routine to make early wake-ups visible. Visible, not visible, but visible. It means possible to do easily and convincingly. Right? Convincingly. Yeah. Visible. It means possible, right? Realizable, I would say, right? Possible to realize. So we need to make it visible, such as setting an earlier bedtime, moving the location of your alarm clock, or ditching snacks. Ditching, it means not using, obeying snacks, not using them, ditching, and sugary drinks before your bed. With these small changes, your body will eventually get in the habit of getting up early. And this is the end of her words. I just want to add a couple more things that, it's vitally important to start not from 5 a.m. every day, right? I just want to clarify it one more time. So when you waking up at 10 a.m. every day, this is not working well because the 5-hour difference between your awakening hours is very big gap. So we need to start from 9:30, then 9, then 8:30, 8, and then you can just cut it into 15 minutes periods, but you doing it gradually, not very fast. Of course, you want 5 a.m. every morning. Of course, you have 5 more hours to be more productive. But look, just be realistic here, okay? You are waking up 10 a.m. every day, yes? And you go to bed not very early, right? Another kind of recommendation from myself is to wake up early. You should to go to bed early. It's very connected things, all right? If you go to bed at 3 a.m. and you want to wake up 5 a.m., it's not enough sleep. We need to plan our sleeping schedule to feel good, you know? If you want to wake up 5 a.m., of course you should be in the bed at 10 p.m. How could you wake up earlier if you go to bed very late? It's impossible. Your body is not the cheating machine. So you want to wake up early, but you need to go to bed early. Early at night is early in the morning. So it's kind of interconnected habit, all right? And I have in my gamified, it's like my gamification task manager, I have 2 habits there: to wake up early and to go to bed early. So when I'm missing one of them, it's just impacting another habit as well. Because if you go to bed late, so you wake up kind of a little bit later because you need these hours, what we discussed before, okay? So that's all for today, guys. That's all the context. So we discussed all these 8 genius tips for waking up early. Maybe some of them are very useful. Some of them are pretty understandable for you guys. And it's completely normal. Thank you for being with us this beautiful morning, evening, or day. Depends on the time you're listening this podcast episode. And remember, 2024 is very close to us. And we have some upcoming events in Moscow in January and February. So just check out our website, emotionalenglish.ru/events, and find your event for Emotional English Community. So if you want to discuss a specific topic or you want to sign in to my personal lessons, go to my website, danilabondarenko.ru, and find the chance to sign in to the tryout lesson. And maybe you'll have a chance to start tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, guys. Right now, I have a pretty big waiting list. But if you don't have this plan to study or to learn English tomorrow, you're completely fine to reserve your seat and to be in the waiting list. And next, I'll contact you and we can start our lessons. So thank you all. It's all for today. So let's stay in touch and let's learn English more often. I'll try to make these podcast episodes more often and hope it will work. It will help us. Thank you all, guys, and I see you very soon. Bye-bye.